Welcome to Chaffey College's Report to the Community. I'm here at the Rancho Cucamonga campus where we've been doing some very exciting things, and I can't wait to tell you about them. Every year, we share with you, the community, our points of pride so that you know your investment in us is really paying off. For example, for every dollar you invest in Chaffey College students, they give back more than twice the amount to this community. And Chaffey College adds more than $485 million annually to the region's economy. As you know, the last 2 years have been quite challenging. Across the globe, due to COVID-19, we've had our own challenges here at Chaffey College. Some of our students have faced job and housing insecurity, and some of us within the campus community have either suffered from the virus itself or even lost loved ones to this virus. Despite these trying times, we've not given up on our mission. Our students depend on us to succeed, and we've had to take innovative approaches to keep them on the path toward their academic and career goals. You see, going to college, taking classes, and passing tests is difficult in itself. But just imagine if you had to face all those things without knowing whether you could pay your light bill, let alone pay your tuition. And that's a familiar story for many of our students. And their difficulties have been particularly serious during this pandemic. In fact, more than 60% of our students depend on financial aid to make it through their college journey. This is a story for Jared Barnes, a member of our basketball team and a kinesiology major. Because of programs like financial aid and Panther Care, Jared has thrived at Chaffey College and is set to graduate next spring.
In all of our lives, we have certain points where it's just like before this point, after this point. It's like a landmark. My life before was unguided. My mom passed away when I was 13. Me and my dad needed money. We needed to pay bills and stuff, so I got the job at Home Goods. I remember seeing on Snapchat, Instagram, all my friends were in college doing that, that whole college experience. I felt like I was missing out on something that young people should experience. Like every day I remember opening boxes, all that type of stuff. Like, I can't keep doing this. I need to get back into school because I'm gonna lose my head if I stay here any longer. I reached out to Coach Prentice and Coach Klein, and they helped me get into the basketball program. They told me all the programs I didn't even know that were a thing, like the Panther Care program, helped me get food, helped me pay for anything that I needed on campus. I applied for financial aid, and it covered for 100% of all my needs here at Chaffey. I had never seen that much money in my bank account at once before. I was like, oh, I'm gonna buy shoes, I'm gonna buy this, but I didn't do any of that. I had to save it. I was living paycheck to paycheck, pretty much. Me and my dad lost the place that we stay at, and it was for about six months where I had to sleep in my car, and I was like couch hopping from my friends' houses, but I would still go to work and I would still go to school and go to practice. Because one thing I noticed was nothing really felt constant. The only thing that didn't move, it didn't go nowhere, was coming to school. That didn't change at all. That was one thing I had. I felt like I had a home here for sure. Every time I'm here, I feel like I'm on the right path to something much bigger than myself. A lot of people don't know their purpose on this earth, but I know mine is to help people, whether it be with feeding people, getting people off the street, rehabilitating people. In the next 10 years, I want to help people as much as possible in any way I can. So when I look back, I can say my life before Chaffey and then my life after Chaffey. My mom, she would be I think about this all the time. She would be so proud of me right now that I'm not, in the streets or like doing things people that I know are doing, and I'm in school and close to getting my degree. So she'd be proud of her baby boy.
As I mentioned earlier, Panther Care played a critical role in keeping Jared on track. This program and its employees have been on the front lines since the start of this pandemic. They've handed out food during drive-through pantry events, helped get homeless students into temporary housing, and provided students with emergency funding to make it through. And we need it more than ever. We discovered that more than 60% of students had experienced at least one form of basic need insecurity during this pandemic. Now, I'd like for you to meet Albert Rodriguez, who directs this program and makes sure that we support all students holistically.
My name is Albert Rodriguez. I'm the manager of Panther Care here at Chaffey College. Panther Care is a holistic program that serves the basic needs of our students. And when the pandemic hit, we kind of realized that those needs were going to be amplified. There's a lot of our students that were already struggling and working one or two jobs to stay afloat were at the front line of the pandemic layoff. And I think that's where we began to see the hard hit of the pandemic on our students. In my heart of hearts, ideally we wouldn't have a program like Panther Care, right? We wouldn't have students that are struggling. We wouldn't have students that are going without meals. But that's not the reality that we face. That's not the reality of the communities that we serve. Our program is a very unique program on campus. We are encouraged to be innovative with the support that we provide. So I think having the opportunity to be there and step up for students when they're in most need is really special to me. There was one student who even sent admissions and records an email, and it just said, "The dude from Panther Care doesn't even know, but he saved my life during the pandemic." So it's that strong of a program where it's like, we don't always know the impact, right? The thing I always tell students is ask me. The worst that I can say is, sorry, I don't know, but I'm gonna find out for you. Having the opportunity to listen to students, listen to their stories. I let them know that I am a first-generation college student. I'm the son of a migrant farm worker and a construction worker, because I think we often stigmatize what poverty looks like, what that income struggle looks like. And I know firsthand that our students are striving, our students are resilient, our students see the hope that education can bring them. And ultimately that's the joy that I see in the work that I do. It's not just a student going through this process of getting their degree. There's oftentimes a family behind that person. So when I've gotten a chance to have the child in the backseat smile because we handed them a juice box or a coloring book or a gift during our Christmas drive, there's no price tag I can put on that, right? Chaffey College made my child smile. That is amazing, right? And how many colleges can say that?
While we're working toward helping our students meet their basic needs, we have another significant issue to address, and that issue is technology. When the pandemic forced us to close down our campuses, we pivoted all our classes online. And this was no easy task. For our students who were accustomed to seeing their classmates in person, they suddenly found themselves adapting to a virtual environment. Certainly, we found ourselves in the world of Zoom meetings. To keep students on track, we gave them the tools they needed, and that meant providing them with thousands of loaner Chromebooks, Wi-Fi hotspots, and other equipment. For Chauvette Marshall, a communications major at Chaffey College, those tools meant the difference between continuing on her path toward graduation and putting her dreams on hold.
My name is Chauvette Marshall. I was born in San Francisco. In 2016, my mom passed of a heart attack. She wasn't sick. She was fine. I saw her that morning and everything was fine. After that, my entire life changed because she was my world. My dad, he told me that I would need to figure it out. When I moved from the back house that I was in, I had nowhere to go. And I would always stress that being here at Chaffey, talking to counselors. I don't know what to do. I'm stressed out. I want to graduate. I want to be in school. But in all honesty, I don't think I'm going to make it. I know that my life has not been the easiest. I thought that I was going to, graduate in a 4-year and be married by then and so on. But, life had a different turnout. And so it's just been a lot of just trying to stay on my feet. Chaffey went the extra mile and I didn't expect it. When I got here, it was more than just education. It was helping you live at the end of the day. COVID hit, I had a computer, but it kept crashing, constantly. They started talking about oh, we can hand you a Chromebook if you don't have a computer. And I was like, yes, yes, and yes. The motel that I stay at, their Wi-Fi is not the best. And so I struggled with doing online tests and quizzes. Sometimes it will shut off and submit my quiz and I did not finish. I had one professor who I told that to this semester, and he called my phone and was like, oh, we have a hotspot. And I was like, seriously? Because that would be a great help right now. I graduate in the fall, and then I'm going to go on to my bachelor's degree and see what life has for me. There's times that I feel like I don't want to do this at all. I'm like, what am I doing? And then I have to really think back on what I'm doing this for. I loved coming to campus and talking to my counselors or talking to my teachers, and I found it to be a home for me personally because I didn't feel like I had one.
Our faculty and staff played a critical role in making the shift to online learning. To all of our professors and support staff at Chaffey who toughed it out for the last 2 years, I have 2 words for you. Thank you. The countless hours you work to keep our students going has not gone unnoticed. And I want you to know that you are deeply appreciated. Our Academic Senate President, Professor Neil Watkins, is here to tell you about what it took to make the shift to a virtual learning environment.
My name is Neil Watkins. I teach English here. I've been here about 18 years. I remember it was the Friday before spring break. We learned, we had 2 weeks to figure out the online teaching. And that was a big shock. A lot of people like me had never taught online. It was really stressful. It's been the most stressful 18 months of my entire career. And the stress takes a toll, but we kind of fight through that. Luckily, we had a lot of good support from the distance ed team. Because of some of the work that Alicia Serrano and Adrian Arce and Angela Cardinale had done, pre-pandemic, we had a robust Canvas sites, we had an online support system for students already. I couldn't have asked for a smoother transition thanks to them. At Chaffey, we have a strong culture of innovation and supporting students, and I think the pandemic has been a good example of that for the faculty, the willingness to change and do whatever it takes to help students. We're only just getting a glimpse of what the students are going through, that their lives were hard before and are just immeasurably challenging the last few months. They are amazingly resilient. They do not give up. They face innumerable challenges, and they are willing to keep going and get the education they need. But now as we're reopening and we're seeing students on campus again and seeing our colleagues on campus, that's what makes a college thrive. Is not just the book learning and the taking exams, but it's the interactions that we have with each other as colleagues or with our students. I think that's what's getting a lot of us excited for the spring and thinking about being further open and connecting with each other again. Chaffey makes this whole area better. It's providing not only the job training for our students or the education or a pathway to transfer, it's a force for positive change in this area.
Many students were supported during the last 2 years who are just starting their college journeys. But what is it like for a student to graduate during a pandemic? In May, we awarded nearly 3,900 degrees to students, the most in Chaffey College's history. We also awarded more than 1,600 certificates. Many of these students were able to continue their journeys with the help of the Chaffey College Transfer Center. Natalia Winter Murrell, a 2021 graduate, got accepted to 6 of the 7 universities for which she applied. And now she's attending the University of California, Irvine, and hopes to one day become a lawyer. We are so proud of her.
I'm Natalia Winter Murrell, and I'm from Fontana, California. My mom, she's a single mother. She wasn't able to finish her academic journey, and ever since I was little, she would just always emphasize to us how important it was to continue our education because she never had the opportunity to do so. My major is administration of justice. The reason why I picked that kind of stems back to my sophomore year of high school. I remember that there is a specific case. It was an incident of a student at Stanford. His name was Brock Turner. The way that the court kind of handled that situation, and I was just really upset that the victim didn't get the justice that she deserved. I was really intimidated by the amount of years that come into law school. Everybody was like, it's gonna be so hard, it's so difficult. I feel like being here has given me the time to grow that I needed. I kind of just refused to be blindsided by anything else, whether it was a negative remark or whether it was a test or a midterm or a class that I'm scared of. Like, I just kind of kept my eyes on the prize, I guess you could say. It's important to kind of equip yourself with the mindset that you can do it. Like, it does not matter if you started at a 2-year, it does not matter if you went to adult school and then decided to come to a 2-year and then built off of that. All that matters is that you have that determination in you and that strive to do better and to end up where you are, and you'll just be set. A big goal of mine is just to make my mom proud. I know how hard she's worked for us and how hard she works to be able to help us out with school and how important it is for us to continue it. Latina women kind of make up a small amount of lawyers, so knowing that I would eventually be a part of that small number, I just feel like gratitude and satisfaction knowing that I completed something so big. And once I do attend law school, being able to say that I'm inspiring my little cousins who are going through schooling right now, and just being able to set that example for them is something that's really important to me. I'm very happy that I've made my family proud. I hope to continue to do so.
For months now, we've waited for brighter days in our state and our nation. And while we do not know what the future holds, we are hopeful that with the decrease of COVID-19 cases, we'll see more of our students return to their campuses to continue on their academic and career paths. Chaffey College has been a part of this community for more than 100 years. We've survived through many, many challenges. We lived through the pandemic of 1918, and we have emerged from this pandemic stronger and wiser. I have confidence that the lessons we have learned have prepared us to take on the next 100 years or more. Chaffey College is what I consider the jewel of the Inland Empire. That's because we play an important role in the health of the economy. Our graduates work in all sectors of the workforce, from healthcare to logistics to business to manufacturing, education, and the arts, among others. We are proud to play a role of helping to fulfill our workforce needs and improve the lives of our students and their families. Economic recovery is more important than ever here in 2021. Thank you for supporting Chaffey College. Go Panthers!
Chaffey!